Hey there, welcome back to Sea Power. Welcome to the third part of the first campaign. This is Calculus of Conflict. I've already done the first mission, Operation Shadow, where we managed to sink a couple of Russian warships as they boarded and took over control of the Kinaloa. Then we had some revenge. We played as the Soviets taking out an American task force. And now the question is, will diplomacy prevail? I'd make the case diplomacy has already failed. But okay. Imperialist aggression is what the Soviets are writing it up as. And now the shipping forecast. The general situation remains cloudy with a chance of torpedoes. Okay, what do we have? Many submarines. As talks stall, the USN blocks additional submarines from entering the North Atlantic. After the events of 9 and 10 May, both NATO and USSR are rapidly mobilizing their forces to set wartime posture. The USSR deploying its submarine fleet and is attempting to break out SSBN's boomers into the North Atlantic to hold hold NATO territory at risk. Task Group Greyhound from the US Second Fleet has been directed to cover the eastern approaches of the GIUK Gap and stop the USSR submarines at all costs. ROE is clear to engage all unknown submarine contacts. We're doing ASW in a probably pretty sizable area at that. The GIUK Gap, well, it's a gap in name, but it's still a lot of territory to take control over / monitor all at the same time. So this is going to cost a lot of sonobuoys. This is going to be requiring potentially some mag sweeps as well, or mad sweeps. And let's see what we can find on the ground. We have two task forces. We got Task Group Greyhound. That's the Rents, that's the Heart, and that is the Yorktown. Why are you here? I mean, yes, your helos can do ASW, but I wouldn't pick you as the primary ASW asset. We're gonna... Oh, there we go. This is Mad Fox checking in from the west. 9 souls aboard. 4 plus 30 playtime. 8 bloodhounds. Mixed bag of sonobuoys. Ready for tasking. Copy that. And that is an ASW plane. Also here to the south we have SAU Alpha. Surface Action Unit. That is the John Rogers and Underwood. John, would you kindly launch your Sea Sprite? What do we have for arrays? We got the towed decoy out, that's great. Towed sonar array deployed below the layer. Underwood, towed array. I'm going to put you above the layer. So we're going to have, let's say, towed arrays covering both ends. The Rents over here. Towed array below the layer, fine. Heart. You got a... Oh, you got a variable depth sonar. Very nice. Above the layer, deploy active. And the Yorktown itself doesn't actually have a towed array. Unfortunately, but so be it. We'll just use your helos instead. So, the GIUK Gap. That's a large area to cover. My plan here is to... let's say have a look at what a scenario creator would do, or let's say what I would do if I were creating the scenario. I mean, the place is massive. This is 55 miles. I cannot possibly come all that range. If they're going to be going through this gap, that means that they have to do, let's say, a passage between there and there. I'm going to start laying a sonobuoy spread in this area. That's my first objective, because as a player... you can't possibly be expected like to hunt down for a submarine there. It would make sense. Only if you're going to give the player some kind of expectation that that's where they need to go, will they actually deploy sonobuoys. At least that would be my expectation. As for these ships here, it's again an enormous gap. We're going to have to send a second helo out. Heart, launch your bird. Okay. Let's set a 10-mile range here. I typically set a smaller range for the US, if I'm playing as the US, because these Soviet submarines aren't that well equipped with torpedoes. So yeah, we're gonna start laying sonobuoys basically along this line. Intermittent, one above the layer, one below. And just lay it. Awfully slow warfare is what they also call this, ASW. So this can definitely take us a while. That's going to be one bird. The next bird I'll task with probably doing another line in front of it. And Mad Fox. Yeah, I guess just sweep this area here. Let's see, where's my last buoy from the helo? And what's the distance I put between these? About 6 miles on average. That's fine. Okay, so your last is going to go away. This is going to be the area where the P3 searches. Intermittent sonar buoys. And start laying them. Just run it, essentially, because we're just going to have to wait and see if we can find something. We have one. We have one. It's actually pretty close to the Yorktown here. And I'm not sure who picked it up. It could have been the sonar buoy about 9 miles out. Yeah, it was the sonar buoy. Sonar buoy here picked it up. I'm going to retask this helo and immediately launch another bird to take its place. Because you can see my sonar buoy wall over here is coming up quite nicely. I'm deploying another wall down here. And, well, at some point you're just going to get a hit. Unless you are particularly unlucky and or the submarines aren't running at 20 knots as they are here. This gives me already some information as to what its capacities are. It's possibly a diesel if it wants to run down its battery in a hurry. I think it's most likely going to be a nuclear boat of some variety. Could be a Delta 3 if they're actually trying to get those nuclear boomers of theirs out into the ocean. Could be a Yankee 2. That's another ballistic. I'm also going to launch the bird from the Rents. Because I'm not sure if I will both A, hit the target, and B, kill the target. So even if I do kill it, or even if I do hit it, I might not necessarily get a kill from it. I want to make sure that I do, and especially on a boomer, you might need more than one hit. Alright, wheel that helo out onto the deck. You're going to go and help out. I'm shift queuing these orders, by the way, because sometimes they don't really want to listen. Oh, you're going to wait for the hangar to close? Curious. Why aren't you just rolling out back onto the flight deck? You don't need the hangar door to close. Anyway. That's not a friendly submarine. Because we aren't expecting any friendlies. We are to engage all unknown enemy submarine contacts. So that is what I will do. Gotta keep an eye on the map, keep scanning around, because sometimes I don't keep up with the log. And that means I might miss another contact. The contact warning. Depth, 565. He's below the layer. I don't 100% know that, but the layer would have to be exceptionally deep to be deeper than that. Typically, they're not as deep as that. Okay, what do we know? Oh, it's a Charlie 1, 2, or Vic 3. Interesting. These are attack submarines. Guided missile submarines, but not boomers. And the Victor 3 is a hunter. It's an attack submarine. That comes equipped with a towed array. Although I doubt you'll be hearing much at that speed. So, attack from behind. Actually, no. He's running away at 20 knots. That's going to make sure that my torpedoes run out of fuel pretty quick. I'm going to go at him head first. Because that way I'm kind of saving some fuel. Yeah, see, this is when that waypoint doesn't work. So remove the waypoint, get the helo to join. This guy's going to get his waypoint removed. There's the MAD, magnetic anomaly detector. I can drop an active sonar buoy while I'm at it. Just drop it there, get an active ping on him. And we're going to fly there. We're going to turn the helo around, which thankfully is a lot faster than going at it with something like a P3, because a P3 turns like a brick. What has me interested is... Hold. Oh, that was friendly air. 7001 was my new bird. That was the P3C. I was wondering, why is there a 7002? Well, the other guy is a friend. There you go. Active return semi-small. How about him? I'm going to engage him from the side. to maximize the sonar return that this thing is going to give off, because that torpedo is going to go loud. And he's going to have a massive wall of steel looking at him. Nope, second as well. Okay. New tasking. I might need you to hunt him as well. First torpedo in the water. At 20 knots, he's not likely to be very well aware of this problem. So that means he's potentially going to just continue on his path and probably die. Torpedo depth still needs to increase a lot. But the torpedo is already going down. 200 feet, 220, 30, 40, 50. Good. Okay, you're going to get tasked with taking over there. I'm not yet sending this helo back because it still has some sonar buoys in it. I'm going to drop those as well. Arguably, it is less likely to find a submarine here because I already found one. 4, 5, 6. Yep, that's a Victor 3. You can recognize those by that big bulge that they have on their stern. Boom. I believe that's where the towed array also is housed, so that's how I typically recognize them. And there's torpedo number 2. Pretty much the same spot. Okay. Is that enough to kill him? Probably. Because these things, they tend to be fairly resistant to torpedoes, but getting hit twice probably means that he's going to have propulsion, but he'll have bad flooding. I think we will see him come up for air. So he's going to try and do an emergency blow because he cannot control his depth anymore. So first we might see him go down a little bit. And then you're going to see a lot of bubbles. And he'll probably do an emergency blow. At least that's what I've seen them do countless times by now. P3's dropping buoys. You're dropping. I have told this helo to drop, but of course some of these buoys are going to be out of range at some point. Right now, I think... Yeah, we're keeping them in range with the ships. If not, I typically tell my helos to fly all the way back past all their buoys to hope that they get another hit. As for my surf ships themselves, I've slowed them down to 6 knots. I don't consider these as actual killers, generally, because in my experience, they just don't do that. I always use the helicopters. If you have to use a ship to kill a submarine, you're either in a situation where that ship was able to get that close, or rather, the submarine was able to get that close, or you are in very tight quarters. Which means something like a bunch of fjords where a surface ship might get that close. Otherwise, I typically detect and eliminate a submarine with a helicopter. Far safer way to go about it. Now, 7002 is not changing his behavior. Course 226, depth 565. Interestingly, I was expecting to see some action from him. So I think this other helo might also need to throw its weapons into the party. Because it's simply not... No, there we go. There comes the surface. That means it is selfie time. It's a bit of a weird hobby of mine. I try to take selfies with my helicopter, so screenshots, with the submarine coming up 400 feet. And once it just breaches the surface, I want to take a screenshot. 4 miles. You got 300 feet to go. Ooh, we might not make it. 200 feet. 100 feet. There you come. We're still 2 miles away. So possibly we'll just see the submarine broaching the surface. Right there. 50 feet. Anybody see a sub? Oh, he's already going down again. No, he's holding. Where are you, big guy? There. There he is. Even his tail is above water. Oh, he's surfacing completely. Ooh, that's rare. I accept your unconditional surrender. Yep, that's an emergency blow. Wow. That is a very rare picture. Look at that. Look at that. One Soviet submarine on the surface. Now, you guys can all get off the sub. Or I'm gonna kill you. Those are your options right now.
Roger. Turn 3, 2, 3.
And I think I might need to kill it. In a situation such as this, you can try and fire a harpoon at it, but most of the time they'll be submerged by the time that you actually get there. Also, interestingly, oh sorry, this is a below the layer buoy. Because I was seeing that the Victor 3 only had a visual detection, which is the helo flying over it, but the sonar buoy here couldn't detect it anymore. It's because the buoy is below the layer, and the Victor 3 is above. Okay, we're gonna throw one torpedo at it. Oh, come on, just the one, please. What? Now we have him on sonar. I think the sea sprite's too close. Faded? I doubt that. He's gonna just pop up right on the sonar buoy when he gets to below the layer again. What's your depth? 458. He's at 390. And the bastard's staying above the layer. Really? Go on. There you are. Shoot to kill. You can't do that emergency blow very often. If at all again, so this should be a pretty easy kill. Away. Are you done dropping buoys? Because I need you to rearm. J2 intelligence assessment. USSR Charlie assessed to be operating in position of datum C01. It carries SSN-9s with a range of 59 miles. So they're basically telling you, be very careful. If you get detected, you're going to get shot at. Yes. Okay. Interestingly, my helicopter is already laying buoys in this area, but the problem is, it's out. I'm going to keep you around as a killer. I'm going to launch another helicopter, and if the Underwood has another one, I'm going to launch the second one as well. As for this guy, can you kindly decide what you're going to do? Is he turning home? He's turning back east. I don't think so. I don't think so. Get him. Hit. That took out his propulsion. Just kill it and be done with it. It's nice that the... oh, never mind. It's nice that the scenario creator has opted to give the player some intel about where a submarine likely is. Because it means that you don't have to spend as much time just going back and forth, dropping sonar buoys everywhere. And making sure they actually find something. This wall of mine, I suspect this one is going to be in range of the helo. Oh, we actually got good range in all of them. Nice. Are you out? Almost. We've got 2 buoys left. I don't have that many helicopters available at the moment. You're gonna wait. You're gonna come home. Yeah, I'm just gonna have both return to base. Okay, that leaves us with the area in the south. Let's go and start fishing. With many, many helos. I can... yeah. What's the range on these? Doesn't say. I don't know what the range on the passive or active sonar buoy is. We can just drop one and hope for the best. Because this thing is going to have to return to base anyway. Well, it does have 2 torpedoes on it. Let's see. Maybe I can get lucky. Throw a buoy in the water and see if you can spot something. Because it's definitely not here. Which probably means it's not there either. Nothing. A Tu-22 strike package inbound. Oh. Okay. That's going to make things a little different. Yorktown, that's your department. Air search is active. How about you? Air search and surface search are running. Air search is running. Okay, good. If it's coming in, it's probably going to be doing that. So we need to be aware of that particular area. Unfortunately, I have no other air assets which can help out. So, yeah, we'll just have to wait until those birds come in on their own accord. I can't really steer that engagement much. From J2, there are indications and warnings of a Tango-class submarine preparing to attack US forces in the area. Yes. But where? This is where datum C01 is. A Tango is a diesel electric, no? It's a patrol sub. Yeah. Those are difficult to detect. They're very slow, but they're also very, very, very quiet. Anechoic coating, electric motor. That's going to be interesting. As now the Sea Sprite takes off, we have our first air contact. I'm kindly going to request that they immediately identify themselves, which they don't actually respond to. Altitude 30,000 feet, speed 464. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the promised bombing rate. The question is, what exactly is going to be your target? We have them on radar, they don't have us on radar. Their course is 209, which means they might strike Surface Action Unit 1. These guys. That's not where I want them to strike. Because these ships are not capable of defending themselves very well. At least not nearly as well as this guy can. I got 40-mile range, which means that they're not likely to pass inside of that range. So, the Yorktown's gonna have to go sitting idly by while Underwood and Rogers over here potentially come under attack. As for finding that unit in datum C01, I'm deploying sonobuoys here. The second unit is going to be deploying sonobuoys there. We have a few actives. I don't really expect a whole lot from them. If the submarine kind of blunders its way past these, yeah, maybe. Otherwise, no. Hold on, what are they doing? They're changing direction. 294? Where are you going? It might be so that they don't know where I'm at. So they're going to have to rely either upon their submarines to try and find me, or they're going to have to turn on their own radar and find me. If they're going to try and turn on their own radar, that's going to be interesting. Strategic bomber, no, that's not it. It's, let's say it's a Tu-22 with a Rubin. It can definitely detect me much, much, much farther than I can detect it. Let alone that I'm using my own radar, of course. At the same time, I don't want to turn the radar off either, because if they do start popping missiles, I want to be the first to know about it. Let's just see what they do. I can't control them, I can only control what my reaction is going to be. Oh, there's the reaction. AS4s. They changed course because they already got their missiles off. AS4 kitchen type missile. That means the Rogers and the Underwood are coming under attack. Turn to starboard. Reason? This thing is going to have to unmask its bow launcher, which presently can't fire. If I turn over to starboard, I should be able to get that thing away. Floor it. We only have standard missile once to defend ourselves with, and the Underwood is doing just that. That launcher is going to have to rotate, launch another missile. There it goes. We only got 2 inbound?
4.
That's remarkably little missiles. Remarkably small attack, if true.
Birds away.
Yeah, it seems to be just 2. Hit!
Vampire, vampire, vampire. Bearing 1, 8.
Come on. Get shot down. Got it. Alright. It's possible this was one aircraft that was trying to do the attack. I'm so used to having, like, 6 aircraft come in with 20... Well, no, well, it's 18 missiles. This guy apparently might have been alone. Or hasn't completed its attack yet. Return to formation. Maintain ahead 1/3.
Turn to course. 2, 3.
Nothing in this datum yet. I'm also using Mad Fox over here to lay additional soda buoys here. I'm thinking maybe something's picking me up here. Something could be so close that it's causing issues with detection. I.e., something is actively hunting me. Because this guy didn't detect me on radar. He might have detected me on ESM, though I doubt it. Yeah, that kind of furthers my expectation that we're being trailed by a submarine. Range? Set about 15 miles. Especially at low speeds, which I have been doing. I think it's not going to be much farther than that. We do have 1 helo coming home. But it's only armed with 2 torpedoes and 0 active soda buoys. All helicopters are presently in the process of searching here. I think Mad Fox might have to defend these ships from the submarine. Shit. 2 more kitchens. 3. Underwood, what's your course? 291.
Turn to course. 2. Ahead standard.
That's standard, off you go.
2.
Unmask that bow launcher again. Good.
Turn to course. 2, 7. Turn to course.
Get over here.
1.
How many missiles you got ready?
Maneuvering eye.
Yeah, you might be idle, but... Actually, no, you need to be kind of sailing away from the target.
2, 5.
Otherwise that Sea Sparrow won't launch.
Birds away. Track
Birds away, Underwood.
0, 0, 6.
We do have plenty of missiles, we just can't throw them out fast enough.
Birds away.
That's the problem with this type of layout.
7, 0, 0.
First standard missile missed. We got no ESM. Oh, sorry, ECM.
Birds away. Track 7, 0.
Standard missiles and Sparrows both going for 7004. Missed.
Vampire. Bearing 1, 1.
Missed.
Track 7, 0.
Come on, get him. Got him.
Vampire. Bearing 1, 8.
The Rogers intercepted it. Second intercepted.
0, 0, 8.
Is there another that I haven't seen? No, intercepted. Phew. Okay. So something or somebody definitely knows where we're at. And I don't like anything about that. And they're not done yet. They have also launched a couple of missiles at what I think is the Yorktown here. And if Yorktown is already shooting back. That's the beauty of this ship. We got 3 missiles that we know of coming in. Trying to get out of the way of the missiles, by the way, is absolutely pointless because they are so fast. It really doesn't matter. And the only thing that you can do is just try and throw more missiles back at them. And that's exactly what Yorktown has done. She's fired 6 missiles at 3 targets, so double tapping each of them. I am not 100% convinced that's going to work. Yorktown still has 62 missiles left.
Weapon error. No track assigned. Engage track 7. Birds away. Track 7.
Get 1 more missile each just to be on the safe side.
Track 7, 0. Buoy away.
So far, I'm not intercepting anything.
Birds away. Track 7010.
They all missed. All of them. Problematic.
Buoy away.
Missed. I saw the missile shoot past there. Missed.
Vampire.
Hit.
Vampire.
Intercepted one.
9.
7009's gone.
Track 7010.
Come on. Missed. Hit.
Vampire.
7010 is gone. That just leaves 11 over here. Missed. Hit. All missiles intercepted. Threat mitigated. For now. The "for now" is doing a lot of the heavy lifting in that sentence. There's still plenty more things that can go wrong and probably will go wrong. So, what's going to happen is I'm going to cut the video here into 2 parts because it's a very long video. And I am looking forward to seeing you guys again in part 2. Where we will continue to hunt and, well, have some problems. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon in part 2.